Today, let's review Express Elevator to Hell, a military sci-fi anthology that's packed with some seriously intense action, unforgettable characters, and a whole lot of surprises. So let's break it down, story by story, and see if this book is worth your time. "15 sci-fi authors have all joined forces like it's the Avengers of military science fiction to deliver a collection of stories about planetary assaults. That's right, planetary assaults. You know the drill. Brave soldiers, hostile alien planets, impossible odds, and things blowing up in glorious sci-fi fashion. The title? Express Elevator to Hell, which, by the way, is a reference to aliens. If you know, you know. If you don't, you should. Point is, it sets the tone. This is high-octane, drop pods, slamming into the ground storytelling with all the boom you could ask for. What really makes Express Elevator to Hell stand out is the variety and balance. That's what good anthologies do. They explore the theme from different angles, so it doesn't get stale. First up, By a Thread by Kevin Ikenberry. Instantly awesome. You've got a tank unit dropping from the sky into enemy lines. You could say this story is about how a tank gets a name. Honestly, it's just a fun, action-packed ride, and I couldn't stop smiling the whole time. This is a perfect start for this anthology. Next is Breakdown by Fred Hughes. So this one's a bit different. We've got a lone survivor coming in and out of a coma to tell how her attack force got wiped. Third story, Judgment Call by John R. Osborne. A pilot gets interrogated for insubordination, and she tells her side of the story. Even if there's a nice plot twist at the end, insubordination stories never quite hit for me. Trust the Cheddar by Charlie Cox is my least favorite in this book. It's not bad, I appreciate the humor, but the action was pretty light compared to other stories, and the alien was kinda cheesy. Moving on, Kurahi by Jonathan P. Brazee. We've got one planet nation invading another planet nation, and everything about this world felt lived in. The drop pod tech, the history of the nations, everything felt so real. I was completely hooked, and when the story ended, I wanted more. Unfortunately, it's not part of a bigger universe, which was a real letdown. This could have been a whole series. All right, up next is Sideways by Mark Wandry. This one's part of the Four Horsemen universe, and you know what that means. Power armor. You've got a veteran remembering his first battle against some werewolf-like aliens. And while I love the power armor and the whole military tactics, the story, just like the second story, Breakdown, is again a memory. Hey, not my favorite type of storytelling. I prefer my action in real time, you know? Blades of Our People by William S. Frisby Jr. is about an elite squad of soldiers on a rescue mission. What I loved most about this was the action and the whole Viking culture vibe with the soldiers. Their drop pod has a buggy, which they quickly had to assemble. Such a cool idea. Honestly, this made me want to read the Last Marines series, like right now. Oh, and I think the book cover action is from this short story. All right, next up, we've got Fourth Point of Contact by Mark Stallings. This one's a bit of a mixed bag. It's a war vet defending his home against pirates, told from a first-person perspective. I really like the whole man against many vibe, but the slow start and abrupt ending left me wanting more. I wanted to see more of this universe. Now, The Quantum Collector by Justin Sloan is about a guy running from trouble who ends up joining a military group collecting crystals. Honestly, I didn't like the story. I enjoyed the first-person perspective, but the story was kind of boring and I couldn't fully get into the characters. The 10th story, Beneath Lahara's Sandstorm by April Kelly Jones, is about a two-man mission to rescue a hostage. And honestly, it's a fast, fun read. The action was solid, the characters were likable, and the world building was pretty tight. This one left me wanting more, and it's one of the few stories in the book that doesn't feel rushed. Definitely a winner. Okay, Powerless by James Fox, the 11th story. Earth is under siege, and our main character, a fighter pilot, is tasked to bypass the enemy lines and land on Earth. There's a lack of action, which is a little disappointing. All right, now, if this book has a crown jewel, it's Operation Sombra Strike. 4 stories by 4 authors, forming a killer arc. Non-stop action, military tactics, and James Cameron's Aliens vibes. It's basically a science fiction blockbuster in book form. These stories form one big interconnected narrative, and they were written by Rick Partlow, James S. Aaron, Jeffrey H. Haskell, and L.L. Richmond. The plot follows a group of soldiers and pilots as they face off against a deadly alien threat on a distant planet, trying to save children. It's packed with non-stop action, intense battles, and some serious aliens-inspired vibes. There's an android, sleazy corporations, drop troopers, armored suits, military tactics, and lots of heart-pumping moments. Sombra Strike really kicks things into high gear. The writers do an amazing job of keeping the tension high and delivering characters that you actually care about. It's a perfect example of how different voices can come together to create something cohesive and exciting. This is the kind of a story that you just can't stop reading. If you love military sci-fi, this is a must-read. And there we have it. Express Elevator to Hell is what you want out of a military sci-fi anthology. It's fast-paced, it's fun, and it delivers action with just enough depth to keep it interesting. Whether you're a hardcore sci-fi reader or just someone looking for an adrenaline-fueled escape, you're in good hands here. Would I recommend it? Hell yeah. Drop in, strap up, and enjoy the ride. This elevator's going down, but in the best way. If you've read it, let me know what you thought in the comments. Favorite story? Favorite author? I hear book 2 is in the works already. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more military sci-fi book reviews. See you in the next one. Burn bright and burn enough.